So during periods of life, we eat and eat and eat, so we don't have famine at all. We just keep eating. The body wasn't designed to do that. And that is why there's a lot of obesity in these parts of the world. That's one of the reasons anyway. And I think, we've got to love ourselves. So tell ourselves when we look in the mirror, be honest. Not to me, not to DJs, not to DJ Little. Take your clothes off, look at yourself in the mirror. In a healthy way, am I happy with the body that I'm seeing in the mirror? You got to ask yourself that question. I ask myself that question. And for me, it was highly stimulating in terms of making the change that I needed to make. Right? And I say in a healthy way, because I don't want anyone to start becoming depressed. I don't want anyone to develop an eating disorder, but I just need you to be honest with yourself every single day. No matter how motivated we become by whatever I say, what Bamba does, what DJ Ish or DJ Little says, at the end of the day, we go home, right? That cassava leaves is going to be there. Fufu and sawa is going to be there. Jollof rice is going to be there. We've got to decide, am I only going to have one portion? Am I going to go for seconds? Am I going to have ice cream? Am I going to have salad on my plate? It's down to us and our four walls. So having the right mindset is important. Having a supportive group is important. But we've got to do it ultimately. And when it comes to the formula that I mentioned, which is what I want you to take away, and I said it's really simple, and that is all around calories. You all know what calories are. You've heard of calories at least, right? So calories is, at a basic level, is the amount of energy that our body requires to metabolize any amount of food. And by default, we normally say that the more calories we have, the more weight we're going to put on. Okay? And the simple formula is, if you consume more calories than you burn, like you guys have been burning loads of calories today, loads of calories. If you consume more calories than you burn, so you eat more than you burn through exercise, what do you think is going to happen to your weight? If you eat more than you burn, is the weight going to go up or down? Up, right? It's going to go up. Likewise, if you burn more calories than you consume, your weight is going to go down. So the consumption of calories is more to do with food. Yeah? It's more to do with what we put on our plate. The burning of calories is more to do with what you guys have been doing today, exercise. So we need to shift that formula in our favor so that we're constantly burning at least the right amount of calorie that our body requires to do what it needs to do in us every day. So our cells, to keep our organs going. Okay? We're all always burning some amount of calories. And that's why if someone doesn't eat for days and days and days, they'll become emaciated, they'll become malnourished, they will die because they're not giving their body the amount of calories that it needs in order to do the work that it needs to do. So we all need to do that. Now, you may have read in some place that the average woman needs or should consume roughly about 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. That is because the average moderately active woman needs about 2,000 calories in order for their system to work, their organs to work. So if you don't want to gain weight as a woman, eat up to 2,000 calories a day. But that's just what you need. You're not going to gain so much weight. It'll be slightly different for different people, depending on how active you are. And for the average man, it's about 2,400, 2,500 calories. Okay? So, if you just want to maintain the weight that you are, you don't want to consume more than that. What do you think is easy to do? balance the equation by exercising more so that you burn loads of calories, right? So we can do that. You know, I can eat loads of McDonald's, but if I run like 10 marathons a day, I'm going to burn it all. Or I can just have my 2,500 or maybe even 2,000 calories, feel full, and just walk 10,000 steps, you know, do 5K 3 times a week, instead of needing to run 10 marathons a day. What do you think is actually easier? To control the amount of food that we eat, or to exercise loads? Absolutely. In order to lose 1 pound of weight, 1 pound, I know we talk in kilograms here, or stones, so 1 pound is roughly about 0.45 kilograms. So I just say 1 pound is like half a kilogram. In order to lose 1 pound of weight, you need to lose, over a period of time, you need to have a negative deficit of 3,500 calories. So if the average woman needs 2,000 calories, yeah? You know, you're not going to go without eating, but if you start eating 1,500, so that day you're negative 500. Over 7 days, so that's 5 times 7, that's 3,500. So over a week, just by reducing your calories by 500, over a week, without exercising, you lose a pound.
Excuse me, how do you measure calories?
So you can't measure it on a scale or anything like that. Most food have the calorie content on them. It is very difficult for our food, cassava leaves, potato leaves, very, very difficult. And look, it's a really good question, by the way. Extremely difficult. There are, if you Google, for example, the closest things that I found, there are some Nigerian chefs who have put up calories for the food that they cook, and you can by default extend it. I mean, I'm going through the numbers, but actually the numbers are not so important. What's important is having an idea of what to do. I used to eat in a very big plate when I was 40 plus kilograms. Really big plate. My lunchbox to work, embarrassingly, was always the biggest one in the dining room, honestly. You know, these ladies in the Middle Ages, usually actually, you know, Caucasian ladies, all the Africans, we used to have like massive plates. You know, they would eat soup, they would come with something little. But if and what I did was, you know, I still take lunch in because I think it's healthier. I just reduced the plate. I know my wife is looking at me, but she found that really difficult. She found that really difficult. She was like, what? No, you're not going to be okay. You're going to be at work for all this number of hours. How can you just eat in that, that size plate? So, also having the right support, having your partner supporting you at home with whatever we do, including food. In fact, not having an unsupportive partner at home is one of the biggest reasons why people stop doing the healthy things. Eating, exercising. Really, really important. She's convinced now, she's on board, fully on board, but it wasn't easy. It took a lot of persuading. So look, have an idea of, I just want you to take home that, look, if I reduce how much I eat, I'm gonna lose weight better, so, maintain my weight better. I'm not saying don't exercise. Exercise is absolutely important. They're both important, okay, for your health in general. And when the two come together, it works synergistically. So you lose the weight, you're more healthy, your blood pressure is better, diabetes stays away forever, for as long as possible. We can't say forever. All the sort of ill health things that we don't want, stay away for as much as possible. And then get a scale. Get a scale. Have a scale at home. Don't be scared to weigh yourself. Alright? I used to almost break my scale, when I got on it. But slowly the numbers kept on coming down. But it's not just the weight. You might have heard of something called BMI, body mass index. So that is your weight for your height. You all probably know that because someone who is 6'6" and weighs 90 kilograms, just even on the eye, is going to look completely different from someone who is 5'2" and also weighs 90 kilograms, right? But more than even the BMI, a very easy thing that you can do, because BMI, if you don't have the right calculator, it doesn't work. Just check your height and then check your waist circumference. Yeah, your waist is at the level of your navel. Don't take a deep breath in, don't hold, just nice and relaxed. Measure it. If your waist is more than 50% of your height, you're on the unhealthy side. So you know what to work on. The aim is to make sure that your waist size is less than 50% of your height. Okay? So, effectively, you can do whatever diet you want. But the important thing is sustaining it. Most people are not able to sustain the diet. Now, and look, when you look at the research, whether it's Cambridge diet, keto diet, gluten-free, meat diet, plant-based diet, they will all make you lose weight. The problem is people can't sustain it. Well, they're very, very low calories sometimes, and they're food that you don't really enjoy. And the best diet is having the food that you enjoy, that's palatable to you. In moderation, absolutely. In moderation. So look, I'll round it up there. But for the sake of time, if you have any questions about anything that I've said or anything else that came up, I'm not an expert. If I can answer it, I'm sure someone else in here can answer it. Thank you. Good question. So the question was, how late can you eat? Yeah?
Or is eating late can affect your weight?
Okay. Whether eating late can affect your weight. That was something that always went through my mind. And I thought, because people ahead of me told me that if you eat late, you're going to put on more weight. So, it doesn't matter. The research shows it really doesn't matter how late you eat. What matters is, there are a couple of things. How much calories you consume over the 24 hours. This is purely just in terms of your weight. I mean, eating late, eating an hour or 2 hours before bed has other consequences. You get gastric reflux, it's not nice. Okay? But what matters is how many calories you consume over a 24-hour period. And there's something called intermittent fasting. Okay? Intermittent fasting is when you reduce. So you all know what breakfast is, how the word breakfast came about. It means break your fast. There's nothing fancy about it. Because we sleep overnight, we don't eat, and your first meal of the day is usually when you break your fast. There's nothing that says breakfast has to happen in the morning. Right? So if you don't eat breakfast, so if your last meal is 8 o'clock and you don't eat breakfast and you go right through beyond 8 o'clock, so you're now fasting for more than 12 hours, and you even go to 12 o'clock, you're fasting for more than 16 hours, that is the holy grail. So fasting for 16 hours or more and having an eating window of 6 hours or less is ideal. Whenever that eating window is, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's from 6 to 12 o'clock at night, or from 8 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you just fit it in. So the answer to your question, it doesn't really matter in terms of weight and calorie.
Okay. Thank you. Right. So if you want to meet Dr. Achmed for maybe a one-to-one question, you can. And then, like I said, he mentioned it. We've got